Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of the Portland Ivy series here on OTP 25. In this episode, we're going to be going up to the trade deadline. We're going to be doing our trade deadline stuff, and then in the next episode, it's going to be the rest of the season and the off season, and the end of season stats, stuff like that. Viewing all the transactions we made, looking at the really cool new screen. If we go to manager's office, or no, it's history, transaction history. Looking at this really cool screen right here. Show top 15 best trades, worst trades, stuff like that. Best acquisitions, worst acquisitions. And we're going to look at all that stuff. Oh, I could just turn that off. But yeah, so here's our lineup and pitching staff. And if you're wondering how bad we are, take a look at this and see how many players you would be happy being on your MLB team. I'll give you a second, because it's probably one, and it's Pierce Johnson. And you might not even be happy about that. I mean, he's got walk issues, but I mean, really the only time he's ever been bad in his career is in Coors, which is granted reasonable. It's very reasonable to not have your best outings in Coors. But we're gonna see how bad we are. I'm just gonna stop at every transaction I make. Not gonna be doing everything. Not gonna be trying to min max it, be perfect or anything like that. But yeah, we're just gonna be doing a little bit of stuff. Not Bobby Bradley. If that's like real 65 power, I'd be fine. Looking at our staff, we brought in a 28-year-old GM. I really brought him in because he was the youngest guy. And he has high trade frequency, so I guess that's fine. Joe Madden's our bench coach. I liked him because he had the best relationships and the best attributes, or ratings, I guess. Brian Conger has the best relationships with our pitchers. Joey DeMonte has the best relationships with our hitters. Chip Hale and Jeff Fry could both teach defense. Rick Hahn's our scouting director. Got good international scouting and he's highly favored tools. And then Rick Jameson is our trainer, as always. I'm going to be really upset when he retires about 10 years into this playthrough. So yeah. This is our entire system here. It's not good. It's really not good. So, without further ado, let's get into the season. And the first claim of the series has been placed on Jesse Winker. I think he's got a really solid eye. Well, I know he's got a really solid eye. It's right there. He's just going to be our DH for the rest of the year, hopefully. Maybe if he performs really well, he could get us something at the deadline, but I doubt it. But yeah, he's going to come in. We also got a scouting discovery, Nesty Serpa, who has absolutely zero control. I mean, the stuff's good. The movement's fine, but the control definitely not fine. Which means that Austin Allen's gonna get waived and DFA'd. Jesse Winker can come in and be our DH. You can kind of generate depth charts there. I do want Valdez and you playing every day, though. Cool. So, now we can keep looking at the waiver wire. And the Angels actually claimed Austin Allen, which is interesting. I don't mind it. I couldn't care less, to be honest. But he does get claimed, which means he's no longer in our org. Figured I'd give you guys that update right there. We placed another 2 claims on Christian Arroyo, a decent second baseman. That's not Christian Arroyo. That's Christian Arroyo, a decent second baseman. And Luis Heel, who I'm going to play a little trick with. I'm going to send down one of our other pitchers, and then call him up, and then DFA him, and try and stick him in the minor leagues. That's what I'm going to try and do with Luis Heel. It's kind of glitchy, kind of not what you're supposed to do in the game, but I'm going to try and do it, and just say screw it, and try and get him in there. Because we're saving database because it's the first of the month. Because I need as many pitchers in our system as I can get. He's not going to be like coming up and down because he's out of options. He's just going to be literally just be in our minor league system. So Avila can go down, and then Heel can come up, and then Heel immediately gets DFA. Where are you, buddy? There you go. And then Avila can go straight back up. And then for second baseman, I guess Kevin Smith can go down. No, I want to send down a pitcher. Or an outfielder. Stuart Burrow can go down. And then second base, you can replace Esteban Quiroz. And you could do that. Cool, cool, cool. Nice. Okay. Back to the waiver wire I go. And immediately we place a claim on Tomas Nido. This is going to be what it's going to be for this entire episode, by the way, just letting you know that until we build a major league roster full of these guys. But Tomas Nido is going to be the best defensive catcher we can get our hands on for a while, so he's going to be here for the rest of the year. Luis Rengifo is an interesting player. So is Blake Trine, so is Andrew McCutchen, so is Tyrone Taylor. I'm placing claims on all three of those guys. All three of those guys are going to come in. Tyrone Taylor's probably going to play right. McCutchen's probably going to play left. And then Luis Rengifo is probably going to play third, or we'll move. No, you can play third. Cool. Yep. And then Blake Trinan, do we want to place a claim on him? I mean, we don't really have place for him. So Nito's going to come in. And Tromp can go down because he's not a team leader. Heel can go down to AAA. Nito can come up and be our catcher. Which means you have one left-handed batter. And you can, if starter's tired, because I want Nito for his defense. And he's probably got a better bat at this point, too, because Kurt Caselli is like 700 million years old. Rengifo can come up, and Devaney can go down, I guess, because you're not hitting at all. And you can just come in and play third. And you're actually a switch hitter, which is perfect, because we need more guys who aren't just strictly righties. And give me one more day. And then we should get in Tyrone Taylor and McCutchen. They love McCutchen, the players already. So we're going to send down Mangum and Gorski to AAA because they have been our two wish hitters so far. Which means we can get two more bats into the lineup. Tyrone Taylor can bat right. Or bat in right field. And then, yeah, we're going to have to move you there, though. I have to switch it around a little bit. That's fine. That's perfect. Cool. All right. So we'll take that, and I will be back for the next transaction. I just pressed pause on the recording, and we come back with the news that Brendan McKay is out for 2 to 3 months. So we're going to have to put him on the injured list. And one of these starters is going to have to come up. It's going to be... You're still only borderline starter. Yeah, it's gonna be Heel. We're gonna try him in the starting rotation. Just give him a pitch count. Give him a 75 pitch count. I know that's not a ton. Probably only give him like 3.5 or 3 to 4 innings per start. But we'll just use him like a what's it called? We'll just use him like an opener. We're actually on a 7-game winning streak right now. Granted, it includes 2 extra inning games and another 3 1-run games, and the other 2 games are 2 and 3-run differences. But we swept the Tigers, and then we swept the Tampa Bay Rays, and then we're just gonna play it out until it ends, which is gonna be today. Yeah, we lose 8-1. But that's still pretty interesting. The draft pool got revealed. So what's the mock draft looking like? Condon at 5. If they don't take Condon, there's going to be a problem. And it's going to be him with us. That's the problem, is going to be Charlie Condon. Because that man is a problem in real life, too. We just found this man in the Dominican Republic. His name is Juan Galarza. And he's a decent pitcher. Gonna get him on some training there with whatever the assistant GM wants to do. But I don't know. That's a pretty decent pitcher that we just found. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have an out pitch, but that's fine. We can live without a slider or a curveball. Jason Foley's out for 2 weeks. Put him on the IL. And call up Foucher, who can go to the bullpen. How's Keel been doing? Okay, Keel's going to go to the bullpen instead. And you are going to have 75 pitch count as well. Cool. Okay, so you've been absolutely horrible. Cool. Edward Cabrera is interesting. But he's outspoken, so I'm probably not going to do that. Still waiting for McKay to come back, Foley as well, but it just happened, so we got to give that some time. Anybody interesting on the waiver wire? Adonis Medina is not interesting at all. I thought he was someone else. There's so many players in this game that I just mix them all up with each other. I thought it was Adon for some reason. Melvin Adon, the guy who throws like 300 miles per hour in the former Giants prospect. I think he's in their organization now, the Nationals. Urania. Nick Ahmed. Okay, we actually have an actual player who can play shortstop now if we claim him. Okay, yes, give me him. Give me, I believe he has 70 range. Yeah, that's a little ridiculous. And he's hitting. I don't know, he's like one of the more valuable players in baseball if he's hitting even league average and playing his defense. So it's a little interesting that they do that, especially when they probably don't have another shortstop to play against or to play instead of him. But that means Valdez can move to the bench. We'll move him to the bench and send down Quiroz. Okay, now Nick Ahmed comes in for Yordis Valdez. Gets rid of one of the switch hitters in our lineup, but quite frankly, I could not give less of a damn at this point. Victor Mesa, you have been absolutely horrible, my friend, but it is what it is, honestly. It is what it is. You're playing good defense, I hope. Did a little shopping of Pierce Johnson eating all his contract, and these are 9 or 10 players that came back in as players that people were willing to trade. Teams were willing to trade for a decent reliever. So I'm just gonna go through player by player, see what makes the deal work. If it's just Pierce Johnson, that's gonna stink. But if it's more than Pierce Johnson, like if we could just like throw in Foley and Funderburk and get someone, like that'd be interesting. Doesn't look like it's gonna work for them. We could throw in Ahmed. What do you need? You need a third baseman. If we could throw in Rengifo and eat all the deal, would you be willing to do that? No. Okay. So it looks like it has to be Pierce Johnson. Okay, so for Wes Clark, it's going to be Pierce Johnson. I'm just going to do some thinking on camera. The guy I'm really looking for is Carter Jensen. And they're actually willing to throw it in for Colby Allard. Colby Allard's been really solid for us this year, but he's going into arbitration. But if we could throw it in for someone else, they don't want Corey Abbott. Do you want Darren McGowan? If we eat all the deal, would you consider that a little bit more? And Huascar Yanoa and Vieira. No, so they don't like Vieira. They don't like Huascar Yanoa is the thing. Okay. Yordis Valdez? No. Okay. So we're gonna throw in Colby Allard. Because I really like Carter Jensen. Carter Jensen looks like he could be a first baseman of the future for us. Or really like left fielder. He's not gonna play catcher for me. I can tell you that right. I can assure you of that. He might come straight up to the majors, or I'll just keep him down so that he can get Hunter Owen's a really good, yeah, he's a really good DH. But I am gonna try and keep get as many of these deals done without Pierce Johnson, just so that I can like kind of throw it in as my trump card, like when I get the ultimate prospect. Once I figure out who I want out of the most out of these that can only get it done with him, then I'll throw him in, if that makes any sense. Okay, Alec Marsh. Are you throwing anyone? Okay, so they're not gonna throw in anybody. Well, you throwing some. You're throwing Madison Bumgarner, who I'm to be honest, I'm not that interested in. Well, Luca Tresh. Rengifo. Okay, so they're somewhat interested in Rengifo. No, I'm just gonna do it Allard for Carter Jensen straight up, and then bring up Jensen to AAA. Let him learn left field, and then get him. No, I don't care about your running or your avoid case because you're already good at that. Get some defense. Get training on that power and get training on that eye. I don't really care about gap as much either. Get training on that eye, and then prevent use of that. Yeah. So he's gonna learn some left field. Or hopefully he can learn a little bit, get it up to like a 40 or 45, and then he'll probably come up to the majors. So if I go back to, wait, why do I only have a, okay, there's a pitcher I was going to call up. McKay. Yeah, I was going to call those two guys up. McKay, and then Voucher can stay in the lineup, and we can do that. Okay. So now that I know Rengifo has some value, now what do we do? Okay, Cade Povich is probably a guy we can get for not nothing, but something a little bit less than what we were expecting. Like Rengifo. Arroyo. How about Rengifo and Valdez? No. Okay. So, okay, so now that I look at this, Carter Jensen, you can be added to a prospects short list and then removed from prospects to trade for. Cool. So I really do want Wes Clark. I think he could be a first baseman of the future for us. I think he's a guy I really want. However, there are guys with more potential than him, like Tavera and Valencia. I think these two guys have more potential than him. But Wes Clark is MLB ready, and oh really? I guess we're gonna have to eat some of his deal. Okay, but I'm gonna explore our options with each of these teams. Baltimore Orioles, they're win now. Do you want Nick Ahmed? Okay. Okay, whatever. So no, I'm just gonna do Wes Clark. I'm not gonna do him. I'm gonna throw in Pierce Johnson. See a little of this deal we have to eat to get this done. 15%. Cool. So yeah, that'll get it done. And Wes Clark hopefully is our first baseman of the future. And then I'll keep shopping players periodically throughout the season. Clark, you have a little bit of development left to do. I really don't care about this. I want all of it in I. And you can prevent from focusing on that. Yes. So now we can send down Neaporte. Really just wave in DFA him. And then force start you at first base. And put you third in the lineup. Why can't I back out? Thank you. Wes Clark is now in the lineup. Cool. Okay. Now who else can we trade? Who else do we have as a trade piece? Foley's somewhat interesting, but I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to get for him. Also, I'm probably not going to do the draft in this episode because I just thought of this idea of me trying to shop these players around, and it's been taking a little bit of video time. Okay. Rengifo. What if I eat all of Rengifo's contract? Okay. Jose Rodriguez, Nick Nastrini. Nick Nastrini is on the list. So is Jose Rodriguez. So it's gonna be one of those two guys, I believe. Luis Cern is just too far away, and he's a finesse pitcher. I'm not really interested in that. Yeah, it's gonna be Jose Rodriguez. Did you throw in? Would you throw in Jordan Leisure? They like Ahmed. We throw in like 16-year-olds, like just guys who are so far away that you don't even care if to get rid of them. You would for Wes Clark. Oh wow, Stuart Baroa for Jacob Burke is a pretty good deal in my opinion. So I want to do that. Gladney, Nick Ahmed for DJ Gladney. I'd take that. I'm gonna Strini. Funderburg, Strzelecki's probably a guy I'm less interested in. Brian Ramos, you're probably not gonna do, yeah. Little Chapelli? No. Okay. Cool. So we're gonna do that. See how little of Renjifo's contract we have to eat to save some money for the draft, sounding like impossible players when it gets later in the draft, but wait, what? Okay, so I guess they're like barely accepting it, but we're gonna do that deal. So we get 4 more prospects that we are very interested in. Burke can go there. Gladney can go there. Gladney, I want you learning first base. Why, like, I don't care about defense. I don't care about running. Give me some power and some eye and a little bit of avoid Ks. And then you can do a little bit of defense because you're learning a new position. Burke, don't care about running ever. I don't run, so you could do that. Nick Nastrini can come up, but we need another pitcher. It's gonna be small. And then Kuros and Alcantara can come up. Cool. Look at OSA. Okay. Jesse Winker might have some, what's it called, trade value. Might. Doesn't. Okay. Brendan McKay. No. Okay, so that looks like the only trades we're going to be able to get done, which is completely fine with me. Okay, Abbott can go down, Nastrini can come up. Nastrini can now be one of our pitchers, one of our starters, I should say. Start him at number 1 in the rotation. And when is the last time you started? You're exhausted, okay. Cool. So we made 3 trades right there. What's Eric Getty look like in this game? He's pretty solid. Okay, we also need to work on this for you. I really don't give a shit about avoid Ks ever. Cool. Now that we got that down, you can have contact. Give me a little bit more power, man. Cool. Okay. So now we go to the next day, and we'll sim up to the draft, go over some of the prospects we like, and then in the next episode, it will be the draft and trade deadline. Although we probably won't even be able to do anything at the trade deadline, because we already did our trades here, so. 8 to 9 months post-concussion syndrome for Sergio Alcantara. It's a little bit unfortunate. It's a little unfortunate for him, to say the least. I don't care about you anymore. I can delete this shortlist now. I keep going there. Delete current shortlist. Yes. Cool. Prospects. 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 Cool. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Now let's go up to the draft. Hopefully we can have a decent draft here. We draft number 1 or number 2. I didn't check yet, but we'll see eventually. Okay, DFAs. Luis Heel and Quincy Naporte, it's fine. Starting pitcher, found the Dominican. He's not interesting. Para, even less interesting. And Romero, even less interesting. Cool. Let's take a look at how Wes Clark is doing after these 2 games. It's only 7 games in by that time, so we'll see. But he's doing pretty solid. Valentin Chiruka. Okay, now let's take a look at the draft. We draft second. The mock draft is changed and Condon goes 1. Tommy White's not going 2, I can promise you that. Neither is Seaver King, neither is JJ Weatherholt. I'm probably going to take Vance Honeycutt if he's... Oh, no, I'm probably not going to. I didn't realize how bad his ratings were in this game. I might take like Connor Griffin, maybe. No, he's not good either. I'm just really just praying they don't take him. And then I'll probably take Bazana, actually. Yeah. Bazana looks like the best guy left. Who's the first pitcher? Duncan Marston. No. Yeah, Savage. Oki. Wrecked. Caglianone. Okay. So this is what the team's looking like now. Unfortunately, it's not been very good, has it? So we are 39 and 63. Not the worst team in the AL West. That would go to the Oakland Athletics. But yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.